In this video, you will learn how to draw Lewis structures or electron dot structures of atoms, molecules, or ions. Let us start with the Lewis structures of atoms. For drawing Lewis structures of atoms, you have to only draw the chemical symbols of that atom and then put dots as same as the number of valence electrons. Here you can see Lewis structures of different atoms. We know that all atoms in a group will have same number of valence electrons. So their Lewis structures also will have same number of dots. So here you can see hydrogen and lithium, sodium, all this have only one electron in their valence shell. So only one dots on their Lewis structures. So every atoms you can see, oxygen atom has 6 valence electrons. So 6 dots on their Lewis structures. Is it clear to you? Now, we will move on to the Lewis structures of molecules. Molecules means there are molecules of elements or molecules of compounds. First, we will see how to draw the Lewis structures for molecules of elements. Let us take some example. H2 molecule. H2 molecule. H2 molecule means 2 hydrogen atoms. So, we have to draw 2 hydrogen atoms with their valence electrons and make a bond. Here we can see both the hydrogen atoms completed their duets. So this is the Lewis structure of hydrogen molecule. Now chlorine molecule. So the same way, 2 chlorine atoms with their valence electrons. So how many valence electrons are there with the one chlorine atom? There are 7 valence electrons. So we can draw that 7 valence electrons here. 7 dots. And here also 7 valence electrons. And count the number of electrons on each atom to make sure that each atom completed their octet. Here you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one bond means 2 electrons. So this chlorine completed its octet, and this chlorine also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This chlorine also completed its octet. Now we will move on to any other molecule, for example, O2 molecule. You can try yourself and then try this, check this. Oxygen atom with it is valence electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and next oxygen atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 valence electrons on each oxygen atom. Now we will draw a bond. After drawing a bond, you have to just count the number of electrons on each atom. If it completed its octet, that will be the Lewis structure. If it's not completed, we have to make the bond double or triple based on the atoms. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons are there, and one bond. Actually, one electron is shared with another electron. So a bond also there. So totally 7 electrons. 1, 2. This bond will consider as 2 electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 electrons are there. To make it 8, we have to draw another bond. So here you can see. So 2 bonds are there. 4 electrons. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. So now both the oxygen atoms completed their octet. So this is the Lewis structure of oxygen atom. Oxygen molecule. Okay, hope you're clear about this. So you can practice 2, 3 examples. So you just practice bromine molecule and nitrogen molecules. Pause the video and do it, and then check your answers. Hope you got correct one. Now we can practice for compound molecules. Okay, how to draw Lewis structures of molecules of compounds. So here I have written 4 rules. We should follow these steps to draw the Lewis structures of compounds. The first step is count total number of valence electrons. And the second step is draw skeletal structures of the molecule by using single bonds. And the third one, put all the remaining valence electrons on atoms as lone pairs. And the fourth one, turn lone pairs into double or triple bonds to give every atoms an octet or duet. Let us take some example and understand it. First, I'm taking a very simple molecule, water molecule, H2O. So the first step, count the total number of valence electrons. So we have to take a sum of valence electrons of each atoms in this molecule. So hydrogen with one valence electron. So two hydrogen atoms are there. So we will write 2 into 2 hydrogen atom with a 1 valence electron plus 1 oxygen atom with a 6 valence electron. So 2 into 1 plus 6, a total of 8 valence electrons. Now the second step, draw skeletal structure of a molecule by using single bonds. So I'm drawing here. So to draw skeletal structure, we should know which is the central atom here, which is 2 hydrogens are there, but only 1 oxygen is there. So we will take oxygen as the central atom, which is only 1 in the molecule. So oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms. And I made single bonds. Okay, only single bonds. Here, for drawing a single bond, I used 2 electrons. So 2 bonds means total 4 electrons. So 4 electrons I already used. So I'm subtracting that 4 electrons from these 8 electrons. I was having 8 electrons with me. Now I used 4 electrons. Now only remaining electrons are 4. So now this is the third step. Put all the remaining valence electrons on atoms as lone pairs. So we can see here hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. Okay. But hydrogen will not carry any lone pairs because it already completed its duet. Now these valence electrons will only there with the oxygen atoms. So all 4 electrons I am putting on the oxygen atom. Now you can count the electrons on each atom. Here 2 electrons are there. So hydrogen completed its octet, duet. And this hydrogen also completed its duet. And oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. So oxygen completed its octet. So this is the Lewis structure of water molecule. Now we will move to the CH4 molecule. Carbon atom has a valence electron of 4 plus hydrogen atoms. 4 hydrogen atoms are there. 4 into each carry 1 valence electron. So total 4 into 1, 4. 4 plus 4, 8. And I am drawing carbon and 4 valence electron. And each hydrogen, 4 hydrogens are there. Each carry 1 electrons. And single bonds. Now count the electrons. How many electrons we used? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all the electrons we used. So this is the structure of CH4 molecule. Now we can try another molecule, C2H4 molecule. Just try C2H4 molecule. Count the total number of electrons. 2 carbon atom, 2 into 4 plus 4 hydrogen atoms, 4 into 1. Total 8 plus 4, 12 electrons. And skeletal structures, one carbon, second carbon, and distribute the hydrogen atoms equally. Now count how many electrons we used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of 12, we used 10 electrons. So remaining 2 electrons are remaining. Okay, 2 electrons are remaining. These 2 electrons we have to put on this atoms. So we don't want to put on any hydrogen atoms. So only on carbon atoms. So these 2 carbon atoms equally I distributed. But now if you count the number of electrons in carbon atoms, you can see it is not completed with this octet. Okay, here only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons. And here also this carbon atom also carry 7 electrons. If we make these 2 electrons as a bond, both can complete their octet. So this is the structure of C2H4 molecule. Okay, hope you clear about all this. Now please try for CO2 molecule and NH3 molecule. And this is the answer. Cross check your answer with this. And finally, we will move on to the ions. We will follow the same step for ions also. But we know ions will have charges, positive and negative charges. Based on that, we have to change the number of valence electrons. So if an ion, if we are taking an ion with a positive charge, then we should subtract an electron from the total number of valence electron, and we should add one extra electron, add one valence electron extra, one valence electron for a negative charge. Okay, let us take some example. First, I'm taking a very small, very simple example, OH minus ion, hydroxide ion, OH minus ion. Okay, the same steps we have to follow. The first step, what was the first step? Please recall the steps we used for the molecules of compounds. So first we were calculating the number of valence electrons. So the same thing we will do here also. Calculate the number of valence electron, total number of valence electron. Oxygen with the 6 electrons plus hydrogen with the 1 electron and a minus charge. A minus charge means we have to add 1 electron. So a minus charge means 1 electron is extra, 1 electron is more in that compound. So this is in that ion. So here 6 plus 1 plus 1, that's equal to 8. 8 electrons are there. So we will try to draw the structure, oxygen and skeletal structure with a single bond. 2 electrons we used. So remaining electrons are 6. Now that 6 electrons I am drawing on oxygen atom because hydrogen is completed, it is octet. Now total 1 extra charge is there, right? So that we will show like this. So this is the OH minus ion, Lewis structure of OH minus ion. So now oxygen completed its octet and hydrogen completed its duet. Now another example, CO3 2 minus ion, carbonate ion. We will see that how to do it. Carbon with a valence electron of 4 plus 3 oxygens with the valence electrons of 6 and 2 negative charges. So we have to add 2 valence electrons. So total 4 plus 18 plus 2. It is 24 carbon skeletal structures, carbon, oxygen and oxygen, third oxygen. So I used 1, 2, 3. 3 bond means 6 electrons are used. So I'm subtracting 6 electrons. Remaining 18 electrons are there. So I'm equally distributing all the electrons on the oxygen atom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now count all the electrons on each atom. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this oxygen completed its object. This this oxygen atom also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This oxygen atom also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what about carbon? Only 1, 2, 3 bonds means 6 electrons only. So carbon should have 8 electrons, then only it can complete this object, right? So for that, what we can do, 2 electrons on any of these oxygen atoms we can convert into a bond. So we will do that. I'm taking from this oxygen atom. You can take from any of the oxygen atom and make a double bond. Now you can try. You can just count electrons. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is completed. Its object, and this carbon oxygen already completed. We already counted that. And what about this carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now carbon also completed. It is object. Now this is the structure, and finally make a bracket and write the charge. Okay, this is the complete structure of Lewis structure of carbonate ion. So one more example we will take. We took only example with a negative charge. What about if a positive charge? For example, NO2 plus ion. Okay. The first step, we will start with the counting of number of valence electron. Nitrogen with a valence electron of electrons of 5 plus oxygen with a valence electrons of 2 oxygen atoms with a valence electrons of 6 and 1 positive charge. So we have to subtract 1 valence electron. The total how many electrons are there? 5 plus 2 into 6, 12. So 12 plus 5, 17. 17 minus 1, 16 electrons. Okay, 16 electrons are there. Now, skeletal structure, nitrogen atom and a single bond with the oxygen atom and another single bond with another oxygen atom. Now, 4 electrons we used. So that we have to subtract from this. So 16 minus 4, we will get 12 electrons. So 12 remaining electrons are there. The 12 electrons we should put on this atoms. So we will start with the atoms other than the central atom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this 6 plus 2, 8. Here also 6 plus 2, 8. So oxygen is completed, it is octet. But what about nitrogen? Nitrogen has only 4 electrons. Okay, it is not completed, it is octet. So what we will do, the same step we will follow. We will erase, we will change these 2 electrons into a bond. So the 2 electrons I'm changing into a bond. So now nitrogen got 6 electrons. Now 2 more electrons should change into a bond. So here also I'm drawing this 2 electron as a bond. So now you can check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So and nitrogen also 8 electrons. So all the electrons completed their octet with the positive 2 positive charge. So here are positive charge also there. Okay, now this is the Lewis structure of NO2 plus ion. Okay, hope you understood. Now practice for sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus ion and NH4 plus ion, ammonium ion. Here is your answers. Please cross check the answers. And there are some molecules to practice. You can practice more molecules. And if you feel any doubts, you can comment I will be giving a reply for that. Thank you for watching my video.